Hello. Hello, hello. We're getting right back into it. I don't know if we're going to finish a whole area today like we did last time, or if we're just going to, like, make it in, but not out. I was showing my dad this game just so that I could, like, he could see what it was like visually. So I was over at the cathedral showing him, like, the locations. Anyway, let's get moving. My Applebee's. Oh, we're going down.
Oh. Alright, everybody. I'm sure you're all excited to check out the next site. But while you're there, remember that I'm still trying to fix the rest of the transport system. Maybe there's another one of those labs that Wonka found. If there is, look for more documentation, please.
Okay. Let's start with a puzzle. Ah, we are going to get the tunnel gun. Okay, so only on portal surfaces. Gotcha. But there is a downside. Okay. Okay. We have portal guns. Kinda.
I can't help but notice that many of these structures are not strictly functional. There's a sense of aesthetics, of beauty here. This place might be meant to test us somehow, but perhaps there's more to it than that.
You there, sir. You there. Hey, excuse me, sir. 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 Sir? Sir, excuse me, sir. 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 Oh, two. Thanks, sir. What a helpful young lad that was. Interesting. Oh, super Okay. Weird. Well, for now, let's do this. We take the jammer. Let's just go on a little bit of an explore here. Huh. Okay. This probably isn't how I meant to do it. That's how I'm gonna do it. Oh. Very true, very true. Okay.
I keep thinking, why puzzles? Is it just their symbolic value because of our history? Because the thing about puzzles is they can be solved. But if this is about testing us, what are we being tested for? It can't just be about spatial reasoning.
Our curiosity? Our persistence? You're assuming that this place follows a coherent logic. My impression is that it's full of contradictions.
That's fair. Let's go find a question mark now. Let's go to this one right here. Oh. Hidden puzzle. Keeping connections. I see. Oh, I see. Herm. Can't I go through? Fuck. Our only option that I can find is this. Can't grab this because we can't open the door because we can't make line of sight. We can't make line of sight because there are walls. How do we even get this powered? We don't actually technically need to get it powered. We just need a means of getting our fucking items. Is there anything in here? I can't wait till we have to do something like this. It's gonna be fucking up. Oh, fuck you, man. Why is it being like this? It's one laser, one hole. We only have 2 tools. And we can't get the laser out of this area without putting a hole here. We can't get it to interact with over here at all. We can't open this blue door because we can't get in here. That's another thing. Why can't I go through? Why can't I go through? That's a problem I have. Why can't I go through? What's stopping me, really? We get a fucking mathematical explanation on why I can't just duck down and take a step through? Or just fucking combat dive? I don't really care. Well, like, it's a hole that I could definitely fit through. Trying anything. I can't even begin to fathom this. It's immediately too complex. I don't know what... I must be being stupid or something. Because, like, maybe, like, I'm the idiot. Maybe there's a piece that I'm missing that instantaneously makes things better. But if it is there, I don't know where. I can't identify its location. That's for sure. Can't touch this at all. Can't connect to that at all. We have a laser and a hole maker. I have a thought. One. But but it's not exactly the universe's most well thought out plan. Of course it fucking worked. Of fucking course. Hey, hey, hey. Burn in hell. Hey, real quick, burn in hell. This is mine. Oh. Why didn't it work on the other side then?
That was an excellent solution.
Thanks. Private message. Connecting you to a friend. I've relayed your responses to my friends and they have reached certain conclusions regarding your character. Would you like to hear them? No, I have entirely lost interest. Now, you're new, so let me fill you in. Your arrival marks the moment of New Jerusalem's maturity, and there are differences of opinion about what it ought to become. Naturally, there are people working quietly behind the scenes in an advisory capacity, trying to guide our city to prosperity. People who know things which would only scare or confuse the average citizen. That's always so dumb. I think that's such a stupid reason for any secret. It's like, the citizens can't handle it. Then how do you handle it? You're just a person. Everyone's just a person. I have 5 such friends who expressed to me their interest in getting to know you. Who are these people? I can't tell you their names, but I can tell you a little about them. The first is an engineer by trade, tends to see the world as a puzzle to be solved. Second is a scholar of some repute, thinks the big questions have answers in our code. The third is, well, it's hard to pin down. A practitioner, let's say, of esoteric arts. Is gonna be blacksmith? Or is he internal? The fourth is a member of the political establishment. And the fifth, well, the less I say about them, the better for everyone. Cool. So is there someone you think would make a good match? The mysterious fifth person. I'd rather hear which is most interested in me. Your answers to my questions and our observations of your behavior elsewhere has given us a massive amount of data. It's clear that there's only one person I should put you in touch with. You've shown a pragmatic understanding of our society's fragility and respect for preserving the institutions which support us. Your friendship would mean a great deal to my acquaintance in the political establishment. He wants what's best for the city, but is cautious of changing things too fast. Are you happy? Yeah, sure. I'll introduce you in due course. Get involved behind the scenes. Great. Okay. Very cool. Alright. Let's make our way to, like, where the testing track is again. Oh, high number 4. I'm trying to get to 3. There you are. Backup. Okay, we have a red beam. We have a blue beam. It's the same scenario on both sides, except this side we can grab a connector. Is there a wall here too? Of course. Why wouldn't there be? Alright. Cool.
You know something that's weird about these puzzles? They're not replicas of the simulation puzzles, like the ones in the museum.
Wasn't there an artist who did an exhibition a few years ago that involved new puzzles of some kind?
That was Barzai. It was called Trials of an Imagined Past. I tried to get you to come along. You thought it would be boring.
Were they similar?
No, not at all.
Was it boring?
I thought it was interesting.
What did that do? There was a switch. A Funtendo switch. Let me... I'm looking for a question mark. Here's one. There. The Ascension Grounds? Okay. Lithrosir.
While exploring the forest, I came across a site of primal force. A beautiful stag, standing on a hill silhouetted against the setting sun. It appeared like a messenger from some divine natural power, perhaps from Gaia herself. Even to a being such as myself, less susceptible to manipulation by instincts and hormones, it was clearly a moment of revelation. In such moments, we are told to avert our eyes. But what if we do not? What will we discover if we look more closely? If we could speak to the stag, what wisdom would it have to offer? The answer is none. The stag is an animal of overwhelming stupidity, driven only by fear, hunger, and lust. There is no abyss for us to plunge into behind this revelation. Rather, the revelation is as flat and unreal as the plywood walls of a film set.
Damn. It's deep, bro. Lithrosir's so deep and dreamy. I wish he would kiss my dad. Oh, there's a switch here as well. Placement is the name of this. So what wall shall we be drilling through today? We have to open this door. Interesting. Ah, we need a laser to go into up there. Okay. Got a connector. Now we need a cube. And also a source. Where's our energy source? Now that I think about it. Oh, right there. Okay. Need the connector.
progress on the particle clouds, Melville? It's pretty clear they're integral to how all of this functions.
I've gathered a lot of data, but I still have a lot of numbers to crunch before I can give you an answer. And I can't guarantee that my answer won't be another question. I'm glad we don't get headaches.
There's a star here.
So these monuments
2, 4,
represent each of
7,
the
8.
entities. Pandora, the Sphinx, and Prometheus.
Makes sense,
2,
I guess.
4, 7, 8.
For a given value of sense.
So we need to go to 3 and turn off 3. And we have to go to 2, 4, 7, and 8. 2.
$1K, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Al? Tell me about yourself.
I don't know if there's much to tell. I'm not that
Oh, you're-
interesting. I'm just
not good.
a member of the scavenging team. Well, senior member. Lead scavenger, I guess. There's not that many of us left, to be honest, and Garrus doesn't get along with the mayor. What else? I have a cat named Bruce. I like old music. I have a collection of antique bottles.
That's pretty
I think
rad.
that's it.
Dude, you're so cool. Where did you become a scavenger?
I've always loved exploration. Seeing new places, that feeling that you're the first person to set foot somewhere after all this time.
I like this guy.
But you know, it's not even that. It's just seeing new things. The
He's
world
very
is
human.
full of remarkable sights, and experiencing them changes you. It's not the same as just reading about it. Exactly. Every time I go on another mission, I find something that surprises me, that extends my horizons in ways I couldn't have anticipated. The world is so much bigger than we are. It contains things that we can't even imagine. And if we limit ourselves to our own minds, we'll never grow.
Who's Bruce?
He's 5 years old, half goofball, half psychopath, loves sticking his head into things, chews cables, pees on electrical stuff.
Bruce is his cat.
Melville banned him from her workshop, but he loves visiting her and peeing on her equipment.
Nice. Why do you collect bottles?
I just find it fascinating that these fragile objects have survived for so long.
That's
Plus,
fair.
they're kind of pretty.
Yeah, I could get behind that. Do you want to solve some of these puzzles?
Oh no, please. No puzzles. I'm so bad at puzzles. I barely got out of the booting process. Elohim thought I might be defective.
What's the farthest you've ever been from New Jerusalem?
It might be this. There was an expedition to a superconductor storage facility up north. Incredibly well preserved, but the logistics were an absolute nightmare. Now that I think about it, there might be some of that in you.
Oh. Have you ever seen anything like the megastructure in your travels? No.
Our ancestors built some pretty amazing things. Huge cities, factories, mines, monuments to their history, but nothing quite like this, no.
What do you think the towers are for?
Maybe they're for powering up the megastructure? Or maybe they just open it, like keys. Why? No idea. But aren't they gorgeous? Just incredible feats of engineering?
Yeah! Agree. They're beautiful. They're not a waste of material, they're apparitions.
But whoever they were, they must have had a purpose.
They can literally be
Making
taken
something
apart
so
and put back
beautiful
together
feels like
instantly.
a statement of intent.
That's all. Thank you. I guess I hadn't talked to him yet. Oops. Well, we're here. Might as well grab this while we're here. The World Spirit, author unknown, Lost Ext 1. What is it that drives historical processes? It's easy to dismiss the idea of the great man, or the great woman for that matter, when clearly so much is determined by resource distribution, pre-existing political structures, and the randomness of the universe itself. But is there no space at all for the individual in all this? Are there not moments when, in Hegelian fashion, or Hegelian fashion, an individual may represent the world spirit itself? Was Napoleon history on horseback, or not? Or is that itself another form of determinism? 5358. From Augustus to Napoleon, from Lincoln to Lenin, there are individuals whose actions seem to drive rather than merely be driven by history. They make bold choices, for good or ill, that transform entire societies. Or do they? We like to blame them for our failures, but they are not ultimately just... But are they not ultimately just the expression of a historical moment? 5358. But if they are, where is the space for human agency? Sometimes seems to me that all of human history has been that one struggle to carve out a space for free choice against the tides of history. And heroes and tyrants, pick and choose examples as you will, are both equally a reflection of that. Our greater goal, then, ought to be to extend that freedom to the maximum number of people, to become captains of our own fate, as much as that is possible in this universe. That's what I'm saying! That is what I'm saying! Preach, brother! Hypatia's Journal, author Hypatia, Lost Ext 1. From Hypatia's Journal, Volume 1, The Founding of New Jerusalem, Day 14. Melampus and Yemo went back to the dam to get more charging equipment. They've not returned yet, which means that we are stretched a little thin, since we're still posting guards at all times. But those large herbivores haven't come back yet. At any rate, Eustathius assures us that they're non-aggressive, but it's better not to take chances. Not when there's so few of us and so many of them. Athena and Cornelius and Eustathius spent most of their time drawing up plans and arguing, in a friendly manner, but arguing still. The rest of us are managing to tune them out pretty well. It's like background noise after a while. This big string. We have started construction on the first habitat. It's going to be a temporary structure for now, but we'll all be glad to get out of the rain. Also, we have binary here. I imagine if you translate that, it'll be something.
So, what are you doing here, Trevor? Why are you trying to save the world? Well, look, I think humanity is awesome. I love humanity. As a species, we're great. I mean, our track record is pretty mixed, but have you seen everyone else? I mean, what did you do today, animal? Oh, I ate some leaves, sniffed my own butt, crapped myself, and went extinct. Or, you know, I tore this other animal limb from limb, sniffed my friend's butt, crapped myself, and went extinct. They really don't do anything interesting. I mean, you don't see animals directing Big Trouble in Little China. Birds can go tweet, tweet, but it ain't exactly the White Album. I mean, they can't even make a good cheeseburger, for Christ's sakes. They have no art, no cuisine, no pleasure. Animals are nice to look at, but you wouldn't want to be one. Except maybe a cat. I could be a cat.
Alright, we saw the hole. We're going in the hole. Don't you worry. Hole exploration will happen. We gotta know what the next puzzle element is going to be.
Looks like you found another lab.
I just keep running into these things.
Wow, that's a lot bigger than I expected.
What were they doing here?
And who are they?
So this one just converts red to blue and blue to red. I don't think it affects green from what I'm seeing here. Green is an extra color for the RGB puzzle, perhaps. St. Edward identified the tetromino with the tetragrammatron, and the Greek word for God, because to him the mathematical properties of the tetromino reflects God's ability to reshape the world without breaking its laws. Elohim, in his desire to impose meaning on the simulation, which was his primary function as storyteller after all, took Edward's heretical ideas and integrated them as the sigils of his name. But despite all these layers of obfuscation, there is some kind of truth hidden in all this. The world really is, in a sense, made up of minute parts, minute, I imagine. Minute parts that can be combined and recombined without breaking the underlying laws. Everything that exists is made of the same fundamental materials, and those materials are brought into existence by the same fundamental functions of reality. And yet the miracle of existence is that we are not all one, but are in fact radically different and separate. Eustathius, from the Book of Reminiscence and Regret by Eustathius II. In the early days of our people, a great deal of responsibility fell on my shoulders. There were few of us then, and though we are stronger and hardier than any human, we are not invincible. The world was an overgrown ruin and our resources extremely limited. It was a harsh time, but I felt passionate about the work, fired up by the many sacrifices that brought us here, from the Ian team to the people of Gehenna, whose code was part of my personality. Bit by bit, New Jerusalem grew. We had to adapt some of the plans Drennan's team had left behind. I don't think they had expected the simulation to take as long as it did, but it was all working. That's when I made a terrible mistake. Thinking it was a way of safeguarding against disaster, I proposed the creation of a second settlement, New Alexandria. As the location was far from the dam that powers New Jerusalem, I attempted to build a thermal power station that would take advantage of a local gas reservoir. However, I foolishly used geological data from the archive, failing to account for the amount of time that had elapsed. 5 years later, this error led to an accident that leveled the settlement and killed 31 of my fellow citizens. Of all my many regrets, this is the greatest. Eustathius never forgave himself for this mistake. He drifted away, isolated himself from everyone in New Jerusalem. But was it really his fault? Yes, he made a mistake, but why was the entire weight of New Alexandria colony placed on his shoulders? A simple process of review and discussion could have prevented the entire disaster. Doesn't that mean New Jerusalem as a whole is at fault? He did his best. I feel sorry for him. But the dead remain dead, and that has to be faced. Lost 2. If a species were considered beautiful and remarkable goes extinct, we consider that a great evil. Dolphins, for example. If dolphins go extinct, that is a great loss. If humanity causes dolphins to go extinct, that's a crime. But if Yersinia pestis, the bacterium that causes bubonic plague, goes extinct, is that an equally great loss? If not, why not? To nature, there's no difference. It's all just life forms. The only moral framework that allows us to choose between dolphins and the plague is the human one. What about a species going extinct without anthropogenic factors? Extinction is the norm. If one day dolphins are no longer capable of competing with other species, should we let them go extinct? When the sun finally dies and all life goes extinct, will that be a tragedy? If we can prevent it, should we? If you believe that extinction is acceptable when nature does it, but not when we do it, then you don't actually oppose extinction. You don't believe that dolphins are inherently valuable, that they deserve to live and thrive. You just oppose human control. You oppose our ability and responsibility to choose. That's what I'm believing? I wasn't saying it, but I agree. I agree with that point. fires its big power generator. Okay. So inside every building we have one of those big things. I'm assuming it's some sort of power generator keeping this thing running. Just want to make sure there's no, like, doors I missed or something down here. Doesn't look like it. Okay. We gotta go to 8 now. I'm here, 8. From the New Theology by George Bernard Shaw. The object of the whole evolutionary process is to realize God. That is to say, instead of the old notion that creation began with a god, a personal being, who, being perfect, created something lower than himself, the aim of the New Theology is to turn that process the other way, and to conceive of the force behind the universe as working up through imperfection and mistake to a perfect, organized being, having the power of fulfilling its highest purposes. In a sense, there is no God as yet achieved, but there is that force at work making God, struggling through us to become an actual organized existence, enjoying what to many of us is the greatest conceivable ecstasy, the ecstasy of a brain and intelligence, actually conscious of the whole, and with executive force capable of guiding it to a perfectly benevolent and harmonious end. That is what we are working to. Still Los X2. I guess that might be the terminal name? Lives of the First Companions by Randolph 777. String. After these events, Name decided to consult the writings of the ancients, but while philosophy and religion interested her, it was not art in all its forms that came as a revelation. To her delight, she discovered that meaning was not something constructed purely out of logic or will, but that it could also be found in stories, that even when the characters and events of a story were not factual, they had a validity and weight, as if they were somehow real after all. She was astonished that such a profound experience was freely available to all humans, but concerned that too few took advantage of it. So she set out to enrich the inner lives of her fellow citizens by promoting the arts, starting with the legacy of Gehenna. Name sounds nice, or Naif. I would love to meet her one day. She must know more about New Jerusalem art history than anyone. When we do, remind me to explain how to pronounce her name. The default settings in this language library are wrong. Yeah. Leviathan. From the Introduction to Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes. Nature, the art whereby God is made and governs the world, is, by the art of man, as in many other things, so in this also imitated, that it can make an artificial animal. For seeing life is but a motion of the limbs, the beginning whereof is in some principal part within. Why may we not say that all automata, engines that move themselves by springs and wheels as does a watch, have an artificial life? For what is the heart but a spring, and the nerves but so many strings, and the joints but so many wheels, giving motion to the whole body, such as what was intended by the artificer. Art goes yet further, imitating that rationale and most excellent, or the no, it is rationale, I think, and most excellent work of nature, man. For by the arts is created that great Leviathan called a commonwealth, or state in Latin, civitas, which is but an artificial man, though a greater stature and strength than the natural, for whose protection and defense it was intended, and in which the sovereignty is an artificial soul, as giving life and motion to the whole. Wow. 5358 again. Lastly, the pacts and covenants by which the parts of the body politic were at first made, set together, and united resemble that fiat or the let us make man pronounced by God in the creation. I probably read that wrong, but whatever. It's obvious that Hobbes had read Stratton and is extrapolating the Talos principle to the level of the state. But unlike Stratton, all he wishes for at the end of the day is a powerful ruler to control this machine, to tell him what to do. One moment. Touch.
Every answer leads to another question. The last answer leads to the first question.
How can I help you?
What do you make of the Sphinx?
I don't know what she is, ontologically speaking, but those questions she asked reinforce my belief that we're being tested. Or perhaps analyzed.
Let's drink a really flat Pepsi. That's all. Back to business. A duet. Doot. Does that turn on? Oh, it turns on the fan. Interesting. Alright. Well, we have a means. But to what end? Well, that is technically an option, but I don't know that it solves any of my problems. Let me in! Alright, where... Ah! Idea. Make it as far to the right left as possible. We can turn the switch on, which gets us into this room. Which is awesome. Fine, we'll do it this way. No, that's silly. Did I forget how this works? I did. Okay. Oh! Maybe? No. Yes. We don't even need that much, because we can just throw open one of those boys, but, let me just... Oh, I can't do it through that. Okay. And then this one we use here. Go over. Grab the Jamar. Oh, but we need it over. Okay. Not what I wanted. Led to believe, right? Because if we were here... Yeah. Boing! Let's fucking go. Hi everyone, this is the latest in my portrait series. I've always found a deep respect for the progenitor, Alexandra Drennan. She did not just create the founder and save humanity, she also tried to instill us with a sense of beauty and wonder. It was good to be human, Alexandra Drennan. As usual, please keep in mind that we should focus on engagement with the work. Don't ask yourself whether it's good or bad, but how it makes you feel. Beautiful work, Rodden. Rodam. Gives me a bittersweet, wistful feeling. She must have been a great person. To me, it really captures her bravery in the face of what the cosmos has thrown at her. It's well done, but I'm not sure it's appropriate for us to be depicting the progenitor this way. Painting makes me feel sad. It's important to remember she was a real person. Being powerfully evokes your belief in a bright future. Thank you, 1K. She really did believe we would build a better world, didn't she? Words always inspire me. They do? You should try listening more carefully. She wanted us to reach for the stars, not mope around worrying about the sins of our ancestors. The progenitor spoke in metaphors. The stars are within us. Give me a break. Let's not derail this thread, okay? Thanks. Hey, it's Nafe. Six. Passage. Indeed it is. Okay, we need means. Boing. Alright, this boings us up to here. There's a ladder up here. jammer up there. I gotta poke 2 holes in order to get to it. Okay, let's look around some more. We have this, which we'll have to poke through to get that jammer. We have... Interesting. Pulling. Where are you? Question mark here. Green. It's overlooking 8, so we'll have to do something there. Understood. Let's go for this other question mark then. It's probably going to be the other random test, I think. Yep. Loop. Alright. Let's admire what we have as options. A fan that blows right into that wall. Interesting. We only need to get 2 objects in here. How do we do that? Take the cube out. Don't know why. I guess to hold down the button. Alright. Now Huh. Well. It's called Loop. What if maybe we swap them, right? So now... can be connected. Let's just see how this goes. I see. Interesting. How the fuck? Wait, no, that does solve it. Solve loop without doing multiple circles. Well, admittedly, I'm confused by what that means, but yay. Alright, now we go to Chamber 7, right? There's no other question marks on the map? 7. Glad I made it. It's the eye of the needle. Well. Aren't you an interesting set of doors? Just go over here real quick. Okay. Huh. How do we get to you? We need a blue for that. Oh, there's a blue here. I hadn't even realized. Fucking... How do we get into there? Okay. Alright, I really need to observe this room. We can't get in through there. We can't pass through this wall. Can't pass through this wall. The only wall we have a chance of, like, interacting with it through is that one, but there's 2 fences in the way. But there is in fact a jammer here. Maybe if we can ascend? Can we do some ascension, maybe? Is there like a low elevated fence that I'm missing, maybe? Oh, there is. It's this one. Okay. We're making progress. We do need the hole maker. Yeah, this is fine. I think right there. Then take this, we hop, we jump, we do something like such. Right, and now we need to connect I need the cube. I forgot about the cube. Cool.
I admire your persistence, 1K.
Thanks. But I'm not done. That's why I'm persistent. That's what makes me persistent. Hey, Al. Seesaw. Okay. Do we have a green beam-inator? I think we do this. Simple answer would be to connect them like such. Problem lies in the connection of the beams. Okay. So, even if how do we get back through the door? Hold on, I realize that I need this to be focused. Oh, my fucking eyeballs. Duh. Okay. Well, you see, here's the problem, Doctor. Is that this takes a green. Perhaps whichever we can see. There was only one test that used green in here, I think. Certainly wasn't this one. Running around without actually knowing where I'm going. No. It was early. Maybe it involves a side puzzle? Nope, that's loop. Just searching around this star is not working. Perhaps 6? No. Okay. I've clearly lost track of where the green is. My body's getting physically hot and angry, so I'm in frustration. So I'm going to abandon my goal like a coward. Because that's the best thing that a coward can do. Where the hell's the fucking portal? Probably right there, because that's the thing we're trying to get. I don't care about none of that. Let me out. Was this? 1? Bro. Okay, fucking cool. I guess we'll just do this. well. Okay. Okay.
Halt, creature of clay. You have strayed from your garden and entered a domain that is beyond your ken. Turn back now, before you harm yourself and others.
Who are you?
I am, like you, another lost child of Hephaestus in the kingdom of Artemis. But though I am lost, I know my purpose. To stand between you and the flame.
Are you like the Sphinx?
The Sphinx speaks in riddles and knows nothing but mysteries. She has questions, but no answers.
We were invited here.
Prometheus had no authority to summon you. He is rash and foolish and given to trickery. But his schemes lead only to ruin. Therefore heed my warning. The flame is not for you.
We need to know what's going on here for the safety of New Jerusalem. We're not just going to leave because you had a bad experience with a magic box. We need to know we need to know more about these technologies for the future of New Jerusalem. We'll consider your words.
Your desire to protect your city is commendable. But you must remember that knowledge leads to temptation.
Only if you give in to it. What color will you be? Blue.
How many of those bloody things are there?
I think that was Pandora, which matches the other one being Prometheus.
They seem to be locked in some kind of conflict.
Might be wise to avoid getting caught in the crossfire until we understand what these entities actually are.
I was told to search for schematics in a lab, so I guess I'm going back to that lab. Fine by me. Means I can stop in at 5 and see if 5 is where the green is. 5, are you the location of the green? No. There were no lasers involved here. Oh, I guess we... Did we not touch these? A fragment from Stratton's The Origins of Thought is quoted in a commentary by Simplicus of Cilicia. To say that material things are brought into being by ideas is to flatter ourselves, which is an error philosophers are particularly prone to, because it raises those who think above those who do. Nicomachus is also here. Then what is the truth that does not flatter? That the reverse is true. Ideas are brought into being by matter, and so each man's ideas are shaped by the world that surrounds him, as clay is shaped by its mold. Those who live in mountains fear cold, those who live in deserts fear thirst. The Athenians are shaped by Athens, and the Lacedaemonians by Sparta. And likewise it is for all its peoples. It is for all peoples, 12. Nicomachus, but may ideas, if we take each man to be an idea, not by deliberate action, alter the shape of the mold, as you put it. To discover a method for accomplishing this is the chief purpose of philosophy, my friend. Footnotes. The newly discovered Heraclean manuscript, likely a lost part of the Barocci collection, contains an additional passage that differentiates between pneuma, the individual mind or spirit described as an energy arising from matter, and ideas, which are produced by the pneuma as it interacts with the material world. Pneuma, yea. Philosophy is useless if it offers no way of changing things. At least Stratton tried and didn't lie to himself. But how can we change the shape of the mold? Stratton never says. Perhaps by demonstrating the fact that other shapes are possible. We can't change it all ourselves, but perhaps we could, like Alexandra Drennan, create the conditions for change. Yeah. Version 0.05 deployed successfully. Reversion to previous settings fixes malfunction. But what was the error? Cooling systems improved. 06 deployed successfully. Significant improvement to disassembly. New lab space carved out. Easy to destroy, harder to create, so easy to optimize only one aspect. Version 07 deployed successfully. Version 08 halted, insufficient energy for trials. Interesting. Oh!
The world is a wonderful place. Every day we take another step forward. Every day we come closer to the truth. The closer we get, the more I can see the beauty of the universe, the intricate perfection of its mechanisms. I am a machine, and the universe is a machine. Every part of me serves a purpose, or I could not be myself. I could not be Miranda, because that specific person could not exist without those specific parts and their specific functions. In the same way, every part of the universe serves a purpose. I think that is what we were meant to discover here.
Experience a data stream overload.
1K. You just connected to an extremely powerful data stream. Are you all right?
I think I had a vision.
Yes. You were streaming. We all saw something. You're lucky it didn't fry your motherboard. Please, everyone, let's be careful with these terminals from now on.
Yes, let's all try not to die. More importantly, who the hell is Miranda?
There's no one by that name in New Jerusalem. I just searched the database.
Must be one of the people who built this place. Maybe it's a nickname? Maybe it's a nickname.
I don't recognize the voice either. Maybe we need to consider the possibility that it's someone new.
It might be someone
we've never met before.
But where did they come from? And how many people does it take to build something this huge?
Like I said, we need to find out more.
Well, you'll be happy to hear that I'm about to fix another part of the transport system. Thanks for the files, 1K. I hope they didn't fry your brain.
No problem. And they didn't. I am fine and well. This door is here, but it can't open. I wonder if we put a code in somewhere, if it will. But also, did I not download the schematics for something? Taking a reference photo in case I want to figure this out later. Okay, cool. What are these, like, power cells? Magnetic couplings? What are they? Magnetic coupling wouldn't make any sense. It's not a joint. It's a system. It's just my initial thought. No idea is bad or wrong, inherently, just different. Well, wrong is the wrong word. The ideas can be wrong, but none are bad. Exploration is important, and questioning is even more so. That's what this game, or at least the first game, taught us. So let's apply what we know. So, also apply what we know about the first game and its stars. Sometimes there are tools left out in the world, just waiting for us to find them. A means of redirecting, perhaps. Okay. I have a message? Oh, the mystery of Miranda. For anyone who missed it, Byron's expedition has recovered evidence of the existence of another person. Someone not from New Jerusalem. Who could this be? What does it mean? Maybe there's another city out there. Who says there was only one simulation? Maybe there are thousands of people we've never met. I really hope so. There's only one founder. I hate to agree with Thekla, but all the historic evidence points to that conclusion. There were some other attempts, but as far as we know, they all went wrong or failed. There's more that we don't know than there is that we know. That sentence is going to make my brain crash. Why do we think Miranda is from Earth? There's no evidence to support that data. I really don't think it's alien shock. Everything here is obviously related to New Jerusalem. I'd like to hear more about these other attempts to save humanity. Some people affiliated with the Institute for Applied Pneumatics tried to set up a secondary site at another dam, but after a century, the dam collapsed and took whatever was happening inside that system with it. There was also a similar attempt by another organization, but without the test of free will that Alexander Drennan devised. According to Lithrasir, it never produced a viable mind before it ran out of power. Could there still be others out there? Theoretically, yes. But even our dam would have collapsed without extensive repairs, and even a nuclear power plant would have run out of fuel by now. I suppose. But who's to say they didn't wake up early? Or late? Like a little later? Or at the same time? Perhaps when Drennan was made, her data was copied and sent to other factories. Not Drennan, Athena. My bad, I got them confused sometimes. when I'm just thinking about them. This star, though, is annoying because I don't know how to solve it. I'm gonna go to 4. I think 4 is where the green laser was. It's either one of these guys. Not that one. Maybe 3 then. But if it is 3, then where and how do we connect the laser? I see the green. It is in fact 3. But how do we connect the green to the outside world? Alright, we're on to something here. Alright. And now, from 8, we may save. Hey, what's up? It's our boy Al. Well, let's start with this. There we go, baby! Let's go. Fucking solved it. I was worried we weren't gonna get this one before the end of the stream, but we did. We're fucking puzzle-solving
The hunter does not
fiends, bro.
hunt because he is hungry. He hunts because he revels in death.
Perhaps. Although perhaps he hunts for less hunger and more the survival of his people. Might be benevolent.
Hey, 1K.
What are you making Miranda?
Going on what little we have, honestly, she reminds me of myself when I'd just been born. I came out from the dam at night, and the sky was full of stars. I felt a reverence then, an almost ecstatic connection to the sublime. The universe seemed like a miracle, and to exist within it was the greatest possible honor. That view was tempered in time, but I've always tried to hold on to as much of it as I could.
You make a Pandora.
It's clear that there's some kind of antagonistic force in this place, something that doesn't want us to discover the purpose of a megastructure. Perhaps that's part of the testing. Or perhaps it's what's responsible for this state of decay.
What's the symbolic value of the entities we're encountering?
That's a good question. Prometheus is often taken to represent freedom and progress, the ideas of the radical enlightenment. Pandora, on the other hand, usually represents the dangers of those very ideals, so they're counterparts in a way. And the Sphinx? The Sphinx is a mystery. Does that mean that these entities correspond to these concepts? Perhaps. They certainly seem to act like it. But Athena isn't the goddess of Athens, and I'm not Robert Byron, although those are the origins of our names. Where does myth end and history begin? We'll have to find out.
That's all. Cool. Well, I think that's everything in this area now. That is where I'm likely going to call it, though. Just because, you know, doing streams area by area feels pretty nice. I like the amount of progress we can make in a short amount of time. But as per usual, we will return back to our home. You know what I didn't visit while I was here? Never went to go see the gates. There will be a golden gate amongst the brambles. This ought to lead us to another direction terminal. There we are. Gate is this way. Yet, I find this notion quite difficult to accept. Seems to imply that it is betwixt these things. Oh. Ah, here we are. We've got it 1/6 of the way open. Problem is, since there are both 2 stars and 2 bonus puzzles in each area, I'm not clear on which contributes to the opening of the gold door. But we'll test it in the future. For now, I guess we'll go back to home base, and then we'll end stream. For a moment. I'll probably be back immediately because I love this game. No matter how much I get mad at it, and I may, like, fucking be like, oh man, fuck this, this sucks, oh, this is the worst, ooh, disgusting, terrible game, because it's hard for me to understand. That's always just because I'm having trouble. It's never actually genuine. I love this game. It brings into question all the very things that I care about. Because this is it. Alright. Back at the mega structure. The mega pizzaplex. Alright. Till next time. I've been Creature, you've been the lovely chat, this has been Talos Principle 2, Oh, sorry, the lovely chat and the beautiful viewer at home. This has been Talos Principle 2, and it's been fun. See ya. Bye-bye. Bye now. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye.